The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Only 2 homestands remain for your Rocket City Trash Pandas. Come on out to Toyota Field for a week filled with promotions August 26th through the 31st. The homestand includes Huntsville Stars Night on the 28th, Huntsville Havoc Night on the 29th, and the week closes out with a Labor Day celebration on the 31st. Get your tickets now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhower here. We're extremely proud that Baumhower's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhower's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
John Abraham here with Bobcat of Huntsville. Men, the season is upon us. This is what all the playbooks have prepared us for. But here, there's no need for a 3-4 defense because we're not talking about the football season. We're talking about the get-done season. Starting August 13th, Bobcat of Huntsville will have a full line of steel products for you to throw at those jobs you've been putting off until now. So put away those fantasy draft notes and pick up the tool you've been waiting for because it's time to get it done. Bobcat of Huntsville, right off of Highway 20 in Madison.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Just a 1-hour extravaganza here today. We're at Baumhower's here in Huntsville as we're walking up to Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show from Baumhower's in Tuscaloosa. Drew DeArmond is filling in for Wes Neighbors here this evening.
Pace yourself, everybody. Pace yourself.
That is, well, he's pacing himself right now with some mozzarella here from Baumhower's. So come on by. There's a table open up to our left. So come on by, but we've got a lot to get to. And we've got a special guest right off the top here as well. The recent Nick Saban Legacy Award winner. That is Coach David Cutcliffe. Congratulations, Coach. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm good, Steve. Busy, as we all know. It's always football season, let's face it, in the state of Alabama. But when you get this close to a real kickoff, I'm just feeling it my entire body. And I've been traveling, watching people practice and out of Birmingham. So it's been a lot of fun.
I got to ask, where have you been, Coach? What's impressed you so far in this fall tour?
I tell you what, the balance in the league, there's a lot of good-looking teams. I don't love, pointing a team out. I've been to a little over half of them. We have got some terrific players, both in the lines of scrimmage and skill. It's interesting. We're seeing an era where the portal probably takes away some of your best developmental players, meaning a guy that may redshirt normally or have in the past or play a little, and he gets better. And I was in one school, I don't want to name the school, but the coach did a great job of showing some guys playing scout team, and for those that don't know what they're being the opponent for them. And he was showing the whole team this, and these were guys that were playing in the NFL right now. Obviously, at that time, they weren't. And one of the things I think that I don't know if everybody is as deep. So here we go. How do you pick anybody? I don't think you really can until we get through some of the injuries that are going to occur, or if a ball bounces funny on you. So it's going to be maybe one of the more interesting SEC seasons that we've seen.
There is certainly a lot of depth, Coach, and that is that's what has made that, and the fact that the portal period, from what I read from ESPN research, was populated with a little over 3,500 kids inside that portal, and just trying to get a team to gel. I know more teams have utilized that portal than other teams, but that chemistry factor, I have no idea what that's going to do.
Well, and it's not just a chemistry. I mean, you actually have to learn the physical standards of a program, what's expected of you. There are a lot of factors in winning, certainly talent, of your squad, different areas of that talent, but also the level of effort that's taught, the level of execution. People always talk about repetitions. Well, poor repetitions do the same thing as great repetitions in a different way. If you execute poorly, guess what you're going to be? You execute average, guess what you're going to be? And so to teach a standard of a program, and not only on the field, off the field, I just think people are going to have their feet held to the fire, and it's going to be interesting to see. There will be some ecstatic people when everything goes like you would hope it was going to, and then there's going to be some folks pretty upset because it's much more difficult to predict. And if you lose the wrong 2 to 3 people where you're not as deep as maybe you've been in the past, it's difficult to games are won in the fourth quarter. Well, seasons are also.
Yeah.
You better be great down the stretch. They remember what you do in November. Don't ever forget that in college football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talking to David Cutcliffe right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And, Coach, I have to bring up one subject just because I heard Kirby Smart yesterday. This past weekend, maybe this is a better way to ask this, Coach. I've with the Big 12 floating what they did with the 24-28 teams. I know this was an expansion talk was down at the beach, and I heard definite comments in regards to the SEC championship game. And I don't know if you heard Kirby yesterday, but it felt to me as if this is now a real conversation. At least I took it that way. I'm not sure if you heard Kirby Smart yesterday, Coach, but it feels more real today than it has, at least having this conversation about the possibilities of eliminating championship weekend as a whole.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Kirby said. I was with him yesterday.
Wow.
And I don't know what he said publicly. I was over there for the day and for practice and spent some time with him.
I'd be happy to play for it if you got a minute. I'd be happy to play it for you,
I'd love
Coach.
to hear what he had to say.
This is on the proposal that the Big 12 wrote on the back of a napkin of 24 to 28 teams. But this is how Kirby responds to it. This is why I wanted to get your 2 cents on this.
Yeah, I'm probably like most people in the majority of, I would love to be able to expand the playoffs if it's done the right way in terms of giving more teams opportunity. I think that's what fan bases want. People are not excited about a mid-tier bowl game at some of these programs they're at. I think those bowl games are great experiences. I played in them. I've coached in them. I love them as an opportunity. But the more teams you give an opportunity to decide things on the field, like you do, whether it's college basketball, high school football, old 1AA football, back when they had the playoff. I mean, you're going to get things decided on the grass. So, yeah, I'd be for that. And you say, well, what about the championship games? I love the championship games. Can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you move the season up, start it, get it done? If you can't and you can only have one of those two, I don't know which one I would pick because it would probably depend on the format.
Am I reading too much into that, Coach? What is your takeaway?
Yeah, I just think he's thinking out loud. I don't think that is deeply thought out. Well, the first comment this old coach would have, and I coached against Kirby obviously when he was a player, and a fine player he was, but the problem with an expansion of a playoff is that football is not a tournament sport. That is not about finding the best team in college football, which is what a playoff could or should do. The National Football League has 32 teams total. And you see the size of their playoff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We're not a tournament sport. Basketball has always been a tournament sport. And even there, maybe the best team doesn't always win the tournament. We had a great history of college football that the regular season was extremely important, and that was basically your tournament to determine a national champion. That was my era. Made every game, every snap, that much more important, and maybe is the reason we have the level of play that we've reached in college football. I would be telling Kirby the same things to be talking about, thinking about. The other part of that is I see it, I'm not being ugly, but the Big 12, that's a financial grab.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a financial grab. And so many meetings start with fiscal or legal issues. And so, you got to be careful what you wish for. I'm a big proponent of bowl games, and people say, why? Well, I know coaches' salaries are good, and, it's not that people think it's not that big a deal, and it's become less of a big deal. But I love the fact when we made a bowl game, and we hadn't played in one a long time when we went to Duke. People don't realize that families go. Your people in the equipment room, your people in the training room, your recruiting help, all those families get to go to the bowl game. Those months' salaries are significant. We used to call it when none of us made any money, we called it lighting up the Christmas tree lights to make a bowl game. You got that month bonus. Hell, otherwise there weren't going to be a lot of presents around the tree. You understand what I'm saying? That's
yes, sir.
reality. But I've heard some other bizarre things. I agree that, we're seeing players opt out of bowls, and then coaches leave programs and they don't even go, and, that's awful. Well, I mean, let's look at another model. Let's look, if you're going to have a 16-team playoff, those teams do that. Move your bowls to preseason games. Everybody wants to have scrimmages, and let that those teams that qualify into the other bowls, not the quote New Year's Six or whatever that will be a part of the playoffs, let them play them in August. National television opportunity, 3-day trips for folks right there. I know there's a risk for injury, but the bowl then becomes more important, and every player will play, and the fan base will have a preseason game. And I don't know. I know that's bizarre too, as well.
Yeah.
But here's what happens. We jump at the next thing coming down the line, and you mentioned it was written on a napkin. The laws of unintended consequences have been biting us for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
Let's think a little bit before we jump off this cliff, is my comment.
I know the athletic directors are meeting this week. I can't. It feels like there's obviously a lot on the plate. Putting it mildly, Coach.
Yes, and I drove back late from Georgia last night to be with them a bit this morning, and there was a lot of great, spirit. That's a bunch of exceptional people. It's a very challenging time for them. When you start talking about, everything has changed in their lives, from revenue share to, the governance of where we're moving with this is so complex. God bless the commissioner and the other leaders. That's above my pay scale, but I want to be there to be supportive of them. And, I've developed good relationships with those guys. And if they have a question of me, I'm going to answer it. And I care about them. I really, really do. People say, well, hi. You went to Alabama. You did. Well, I'm a football guy, and I want college football to be the very best that it could possibly be. I don't have the answers. I don't think anybody does until we start getting some of the legal issues settled to some degree. So they've talked about that. They talk about scheduling. Their hands were, they were full, and the commissioner was full. So I think finished about 3 this afternoon, and then we had a staff meeting, prior to football. After that, loaded with lots of responsibilities and lots of things that are happening. And God bless those folks in the conference office. I tell all of them all the time. The reason it just means more, it keeps multiplying. We got unbelievable people, younger and more experienced in that office. But the things that have to be taken care of, people have no idea. And I didn't either, to be honest with you. We think we do it all in coaching and playing. Well, there's a lot more to it to allow us to get our jobs done. So, and then the biggest reason, and I'm going to make them all feel good because this is the reality, the difference in the SEC and everybody else, the reason it just means more is our fans. Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
None like you all in the, let's say, world. Come on, I'll take on the world with SEC football fans.
That is so well put right there. And I will even tell you this, Coach, where with the SEC football media days, there was a couple of angry individuals along Radio Row, and I took them aside and said, it's not as if the College Football Hall of Fame just opens up their doors and welcomes in the SEC. That's a pretty expensive endeavor, too. It is a showcase, don't get me wrong, and a big billboard for SEC football, but that's not cheap either.
No. Everybody needs to truly understand, and I'm not asking for people's patience. I'm asking for understanding. I don't know many football fans or coaches or players that are all that patient, but
or fans.
Or anybody, but we do need to understand it's a little more complicated than people might think or want. And there's still a lot of great people associated with the game and every aspect of it, from fans, media, coaches, players, administrators. People wouldn't be doing these things if they didn't care. So let's keep caring. And I'm not going to ask anybody, like I said, to be patient. Every now and then you got to push, no question. But you got to understand what's happening. You can't just go off on the deep end either.
And Coach Cutcliffe is Drew DeArmond. I wanted to ask you, I know you said you've been to a little over half of the training camps and camps in the league, fall camp anyway, as they prepare for their for opening games just in a little over a week. But and you mentioned the scout team and development and depth, which I thought was interesting. As you've talked to coaches around the league, how do they approach now developing depth on their football team when it's become harder because you lose so many of those young players you talked about into the portal, guys that would grind and start out on the scout team and then take 2 to 3 years before they developed their careers?
That's a great question. And I've seen everybody when I take it on back to the spring. I've been to all 16, counting spring practice and fall practice. And so I kind of have seen for myself, it's an interesting transition if people will also, again, try to understand that the team they practice with in spring is not necessarily the team you're going to be practicing with come August. So development, even within people that are, maybe starters, is behind where it has been in the past. It's a real challenge. I am a proponent for one portal and it to occur in January. And I also think that we should allow, once a transfer has been admitted, he should be able to matriculate to that school and practice. So we could get things, a calendar in place. So I could just tell you this, as a coach in development, I had a huge calendar in my downstairs, what I call my working office. And I was 3 years out thinking of depth charts, of practice days, lift opportunities, things we needed, because we were a developmental program at Duke. You weren't going to win if you didn't get that opportunity. And it's an interesting thing. In a different way, the pandemic did the same thing to us. They shut us down. We were gone March 6th to the 1st of August with our team. Our staff, over half of that time. I felt like nobody loved me. I was the only one allowed to go in the office, and our strength staff couldn't work with our kids. And it was devastating. It created a devastating hole for us for 2 years. We had good players. So I'm watching this to see and talk to coaches. How do you transition this? I used to want to know pretty much what our squad was going to look like in January and February so we could plan minimally. And so it is a challenge. I think you have to practice differently. I think if you're smart, you have to schematically be as simple as you can. A confused player will look like a non-motivated player.
Yeah.
So I think, meetings and teaching and inspiring learning is more important than it has been. But I think it's also a bigger challenge because a great teacher knows and cares for his students and knows them well. Well, how can you say that now? So, man, I got a book going in my head. I'm trying to remember all these things I'm seeing. I'm like, good gosh. And that's what I mean by understanding. And I'm not sure even everybody out there that is involved in following, covering, working in college football understands all the challenges that exist. And you've got to, that's what you paid for. If you're the coaching staff, you better figure it out. The sooner the better. And then creating standards amongst people. You can talk about X's and O's and even the talent level. Well, if you don't get the standard set of what the expectations are of effort and finish, and that's a repetitive thing, then watch out. It's going to bite you somewhere along the way. That's why it's going to be hard to predict who wins what as we go through a season.
And then talking to Coach David Cutcliffe right now, and I heard Dabo Sweeney say last Thursday, it was after a practice, that essentially that day last year won them the ACC championship. That a middle August day won them the ACC championship last year. And, of course, he really likes his team. I don't think I'm letting too much news out of the bag right here, Coach, but he just mentions how he attacks practice. And, of course, they've got a big one with LSU right out of the gate.
No question. And you know where Dabo's from, okay?
Yes, sir.
He's an Alabama guy. People forget that sometime. He goes back to his Coach Stallings and Woody McCorvey, who's there with him. And he's got one of my guys, Matt Luke, who's a great football coach. He hired him to coach the offensive line. And I think they have a really good football team. But you pray they stay healthy,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of teams that are contenders. And I would say a lot of people would, if you're a fan, you only want your team to be a contender. But a lot of people that deeply follow college football realize it's very difficult to say, who's going to win the national championship. And it's not going to be so easy to say it. Even after some of those big early games, doesn't get any bigger than Clemson, LSU, or Texas, Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
But they're not going to determine who wins the championship.
Yes, sir. Maybe some seeding, but, I mean, you're exactly right, though.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a lot of football to be played, and let's get to November. And, I've always been on the coaches voting. Nobody wants me to vote anymore, but I vote myself. I try to keep what I think is a top 25, and I don't care what anybody else thinks, so it's mine,
Yes, sir.
And I don't even like starting to vote till either mid-October or even later in October, because I think it's a waste of your time to try to put it all together then.
I at least wanted to close with another former quarterback of yours, Daniel Jones, getting the Colts starting job. And at least from what I'm reading about Colts camp is that he has been impressive for the Indianapolis Colts.
He is impressive. He came stay with me a week in the spring before he went back to camp and all of that, and we got some great work in. He's healthy. He's been unhealthy. You remember the offensive line he played behind in New York? Okay. Guy's been beat up, and he's smart. He's an extremely talented young man. I'm going to stay on him on a few things. I keep my eye on him. And we got Riley Leonard, that's one of ours, up there with him. And Riley's from Fairhope, and we signed him at Duke. And he ended it after I left. He ended up at Notre Dame, and really proud of him. But Daniel is a good football player. And I hope he has the right stuff around him. The offensive coordinator is one of mine, too, Jim Bob Harris, who was a walk-on quarterback for us at Tennessee and a great football mind. So I'm excited. I got to go to Indy sometime. I know that.
How big is this tree, Coach? I mean, because I thought about asking about Jim Knowles, too, who said that he was going to stop and smell the roses once he gets old enough after he won a national championship last year.
Yeah, but he is such a superstar, mad scientist, smart, one of my favorite people. He made me happy every day. He was with us at Ole Miss and Duke. I mean, really made me happy. All you have to do is say, hey, Jim, give us the fact of the day. He'll put something, it comes from beyond Mars. You don't know what the guy's going to say, but we all end up entertained, and I love the fact of the day. And, yeah, he's brilliant at it, but he's a brilliant football coach and a great human being.
Wow. I mean, I'd love it. You need a coach like that if you're going to endure. I mean, this becomes your family for at least over half a year, and you need a coach like that in the locker room with you.
Yeah, people ask me what I miss, and I love football. I love teach football, but I miss the people. I mean, I miss the people, the families of the players and coaches and their families. And I mean, that's just to be that invested. And that's what I don't want to see lost with the portal and pay for play my mother told me when I was 15, she said, your life's going to depend on the people you choose, not places. And man, was she right. Man. So, let's get back to choosing the right folks, right?
Yeah. What did tell me a little bit about that night, the other night, receiving the Legacy Award. What did that mean to you, Coach?
Well, first of all, Pat Dye was the other recipient, which,
yes, sir.
Wow, I love Coach Dye. I knew Coach Dye as an assistant at Alabama, and we competed against each other. He was the second call I made after I got the Ole Miss job, and he was important to me. I asked him to come speak at our coaching clinic, and he was great. And so that was very memorable for me, seeing Pat Dye Jr. He was a little guy when his dad was at Alabama. And then the other part, let's face it, Nick Saban's name is pretty special. His legacy is beyond special. And I said this there, he is the GOAT. And that's not for everybody. And he earned it. And he did it in an era that was very difficult. Nobody came close to that. We know that. Yeah. And so, that was, I believe that made a difference. And then the last thing is that I've always made this, there's somewhere I've seen it floating around, a quote I had, and I meant it, that you can't let ego get in the way of legacy. Legacy means how well you leave things behind you, people and places. Leave a place better than you found it. And if you're too interested in yourself, how can you really do that? So I was very honored that it was a legacy award, because I do in my heart, I'm not being arrogant, believe we tried to do that really well as anyone else has done. I believe that in my heart. And I say we, because it's not me. That's everybody that's been with us through these years,
That is so well said and so well deserved, too. All you got to do is take a look at your track record of everywhere you've been, Coach. And I know we value the relationship that we've had over the last handful of years. And I look forward to talking with you down the road after we kick the season off.
Yes,
we're almost
sir.
here, Coach.
Go. Hey, I'm ready to return the kick. Don't be surprised if you see old Cut out there receiving an opening kickoff, and I'll look like Forrest running with it. I'll run right out of the stadium because I'll be in trouble.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, take care.
That's David Cutcliffe.
That was good stuff. You can't. And right now in college football, to me, you can't have a higher honor than to get the Nick Saban Legacy Award.
Well, you almost hired your ass.
Yeah. Well, he didn't.
And the rest of him too.
Well,
but I do think Coach Cut did it the right way. He was also a very loyal guy, because I remember how he left Ole Miss because they wanted him to make staff changes he wasn't comfortable making. Yeah. And I'll never forget what he told the media, because when he took the Duke job, everybody's like, wow, that's a difficult one. Mm-hmm. But he went to Madison Square Garden to watch Coach K and the Blue Devils basketball team, take the floor. And he had just taken the job, and they asked him, what are you looking the most forward to at Duke to try to get the football program turned around? He says, I'm looking forward to competing every day. He goes, we are going to compete. And I remember what a big deal it was. I want to say it was, ironically, in New York, was his first bowl game for Duke. I think it was the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. And that was a huge deal, because he got Duke competing and going to postseason games, and then signing players like a Riley Leonard, who was a really good football player who blossomed late at Fairhope and was a really good basketball player too.
Yeah.
And well, I'll be honest with you. I know Mike Elko was the coach at the time, but if Coach Cut had not retired and stayed with it, I think there's a good chance Riley Leonard may have stayed at Duke and continued to develop.
Or if COVID doesn't happen, how that program would have
continued on the upward, spike, because like you said, COVID was very difficult to deal with.
Yeah. We do need to take our first time out. We're live here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. Wes Neighbors is going to join us on the other side as we're live here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From zero down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus zero down payment, plus zero payments for 90 days, plus 2-year 25,000-mile complimentary maintenance. You can choose a 2025 Escape, F-150, Explorer, or a Mustang. Or how about zero down lease, $499 a month for a 2025 Explorer, F-150, or Bronco, and just $399 a month for Bronco Sport, Mustang, and Escape. Again, these are zero down with complimentary maintenance too. This is a 36-month lease with zero down, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. These offers end 9/2/25. It's our Woody Anderson Ford Summer Sales Event, so hurry on down. I'm Bobby White, and I hope to see you soon.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. Drew DeArmond answering a question at the moment of... there was no word today on Auburn adding any more championships today.
Well, I mean...
That was yesterday.
The early 1900s, that was the way it was done, okay? I get it.
Yeah.
There was not, in a lot of ways, a set-in-stone way to do it. So I understand those. It was before the modern era. But when you're trying to claim 83, 93, and 04... even though those were all great teams, I don't discount how good they were, but they weren't the best teams in the country. They just weren't. And so I'm sorry, In '93 they weren't even eligible for the SEC title, and then they weren't better than Florida State on the field, in my opinion. And it's a documented fact they weren't better than USC in '04.
West Neighbors, how you doing, brother? Are you there, Wes?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I was listening to Grille, and all of a sudden you came on. Yeah.
What's up?
Works that way, don't it?
We were just, and Wes would be more familiar with '83. I was 8. I wasn't I didn't see that. Don't remember that Auburn team as much. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not lose to Michigan in the bowl game? Yeah, they got beat by Michigan in the Sugar Bowl, I thought.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know how that works. But, I mean, yeah, I think, it is what it is. They can claim what they want to. It doesn't mean that you got to believe it. I mean, I don't know about all the ones Alabama claimed in the 40s. I wasn't alive. So I know one, they won the Rose Bowl. And it used to be if you won the Rose Bowl, you won the national championship.
That's
right.
right.
The two best teams, this or that. That's the way it was. So I know I think it was 2004 was Tuberville's second year.
Tuberville, I think, got there in '98. I think
99.
99.
Yeah,
99.
Yeah. So one of the years he was there, that they're talking about, he dropped Florida State, and I think if they played Florida State and won that year, they probably had a legitimate shot. But as I remember, Utah had a tougher schedule that year than Auburn did, and Utah was undefeated. So I just remember that in the back of my mind, thinking, why would you drop Florida State?
And they picked up the Citadel, I think.
Yeah, it was, and I think if they do that, they had a legitimate claim. And what they're saying is, hey, USC won the national championship, and then we ended up whatever they ended up, and then USC went on probation. So I don't know. So and then they claim they're opposite. They are on probation. But listen, like Drew said, all of those three teams were really good, really great. Auburn teams were great teams, and they were in the top 3 or 4 that year. So, I mean, I don't know. If they want to claim them, let them claim them. I mean, what are you going to do? Michigan claims it, and they cheated worse than anybody's ever cheated, and they're going to keep theirs. So, I mean,
that's right.
Yeah. In '85, we lost 2 games by 2 points. So I'm claiming in '85. I'm going back. I'm having my ring made Monday.
I did reach out to Al Borges and asked him if he is being told that his national championship ring is being mailed to him, and he said it's in the mail.
Yeah, well, I think they've already got. I think in 2004 they ought to have made them.
They have an SEC one that had, more of a national championship look to it.
Right.
Yeah, I think they called it the People's National
Championship.
Did they not ship them out with all the T-shirts of the losing teams?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think either Alabama or Auburn this year is going to get a national championship. But I think Alabama will be closer than Auburn.
Really? What makes you say that about the Crimson Tide?
Well, like I said, so when you win championships, usually it's because your defense is really good. Your defensive line, you got a bunch of number 1 draft picks. And, I think Auburn has one number 1 draft picks, but I don't think the rest of them are, or anybody that's even close. And then Alabama, who's the number 1 pick? Number 4 if he gets a lot better. But, I don't think they got more than one. Do you, Drew?
The first rounder? No, not this year. I'm not along the defensive one.
Like when Alabama was really good, they have all these number 1 picks. When Georgia was really good, you look at it, all the NFL, they have all these number 1 picks. And those guys have been, I guess, distributed all through the country. So, you look at Ohio State with all those guys last year. I just think you got to be sprinkled with number 1 picks everywhere. And I think there might be 2 or 3 on the defense, but I think they're in the back end that not soon, and then number 4 who still has a way to get mentally. You look at the Michigan game, and on a big third down play, he gets sucked inside and he has contained, and then they break the ball outside and get a first down. You know, it's little things that make good teams, but it's great players that make great teams.
Talking with Wes Neighbors right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline as we're live here at Baumhower's Victory Grill.
But now I give Alabama 80% chance of making the playoffs, but it's different than making the playoffs and winning the playoffs. I mean, I think the quarterback's good enough to win. I think the offense is good enough to win. It's going to be interesting if the defense can stop the run. You know, you look at the games last year, Oklahoma, Michigan, and Vanderbilt. They had just a hard time stopping the run against those teams. And when you can't stop the run, you cannot win the game. I mean, the Vanderbilt game was close, but, you know, heck, if they had another quarter, they'd scored at least one more touchdown, not two. You know, I mean, you know, they ran out of time, but they beat us worse.
At this point of fall camp, when you're getting ready to transition into an actual game week, what's that like from a player's perspective?
Oh, it's awesome. You get out of camp. I mean, you know, they don't practice 2 days now, but I remember when I couldn't wait for school to start. I mean, by the end of camp, you're worn out. I mean, your legs are gone. You're beat up. You know, you're just ready for school to start. And you play that first game. Playing the games are the reward. Playing the games are the easiest part of the year. I mean, the fall camp's hell and the spring's hell. I mean, you work harder in the spring than you do any other time through the fourth quarter program. And I mean, you know, if you're an offensive lineman, they turn you into a track athlete. I mean, you know, it's a transition. So yeah, I love the season. That's what it's all about, playing the game. So you're excited, you're ready to go. You know, you're you know, everybody's undefeated. Everybody, it's the hope springs internal. I mean, you know, you cannot wait for the season to start, and because that's the reward. That's playing those games is the reward. And the games are easy. I mean, you know, they're the easiest part of the year.
And Wes, I know you had a chance to watch Alabama work. What did you think of the offensive line? Because I think that's going to be a huge key this year for them to stay healthy and then their development.
Yeah. So I think the offensive line was great, which is scary to me. You know, they didn't have Swamp Monster. Swamp Monster's hurt. But I thought the right guard did really well. They have a really good, I think the right tackle is the most 75 is the most improved player on the offensive line. I think he was at the end of last year, too. If you look, he played most of the stats at the end of last year and played very well. The form was Formby. And then the left guard, the transfer from Texas A&M, looked really good in practice. The center is one of the best in the conference, in my opinion. He's undersized, but he just plays. I mean, he's just a player. And the left tackle's the number 1 draft pick. So, and then they got some young guys. I am most impressed with Alabama's freshman class. This is the best freshman class they've had in some time. Now, how much those guys can develop between now and the end of the year, like Devontae Smith and all those guys. But I think this is a special class if they can keep them together and keep them healthy. I think they're going to do big things.
Interesting. By the way, I do need to correct you guys. The 83 Auburn team, they lost to Texas in the second game that year. They beat Michigan 9-7.
They did beat Michigan.
They did beat Michigan.
My bad. Okay.
In the Sugar Bowl.
And that's why they thought they should have won it. There you go.
Was ass whipping at home. I watched
20-7. 20-7.
Yeah. And it was a bad. They got dominated in that game.
Yeah,
I remember watching on tape.
I remember the great Bo Jackson who was, I think, just a sophomore that year. He said Michigan, they won 9-7, but it was a very tough game. I'm glad you looked that up, Steve. I knew it was a close game, but I do remember him saying that it was the hardest hitting team they played against, he thought, all year.
Yeah. But I'm going to say, so Remington was the center for in that. No, that was Remington played at Nebraska. I forget. No, the center was from Huntsville in that game at Texas. Adam Cross was the center, who played an awesome game in that game, if I remember correctly.
Funny how that works out when you're playing a team that you grew up either hating or loving inside your home state.
Well, I don't think I've ever hated Auburn. They were my rival, but hate's a strong word. I mean, I got a lot of
it is.
A lot of great, not some of my best friends are Auburn graduates, and I enjoy the rivalry, and it's already started. I got a email, a text message, a group text message, and it's already started.
You're sitting here claiming national championships. I mean, come on.
Well, it's the preseason. Yeah, it is the preseason. So, yeah. But hopefully that I think we can go back to 85. I like 85. We lost 2 games with 2 points and missed field goals in both those games. So
I'll email Greg Byrne for you. How about that?
Thank you. Yeah, tell him we want to claim 85. Tell him to send my ring on.
All right, Wes. Appreciate the time, and we'll look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
Jaden West. Yeah, that's a pretty good shot there.
Yeah. That is Wes
night,
on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to weed off that stuff. I really am.
I never hardly do anything on Instagram. The only time it ever posts is like if I post something on Facebook, I think it does it at the same time.
Does it?
So, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, Instagram can be kind of interesting, but, yeah, but it definitely looks like he's in a very nice location.
Hoss Johnson texted me and said that, the center for Texas was Adam Schreiber.
Nice.
Played at Butler High School.
Oh, nice.
Graduated in 1980.
A teammate of Hoss's.
That's right.
A fellow Butler Rebel.
Man.
How did he end up at Texas?
The amount of athletes that came out of Butler High School.
Man, and Huntsville as a whole back in those days, football-wise. So many great players, man. I've longed for the days to have football be that caliber again.
Yeah, somebody asked me, is there going to be any high-level high school football in the month of November? And I didn't really have a whole lot of optimism.
Well, there's good programs around.
He meant 7A.
Well, that's what I mean.
Specifically 7A.
I was going to say, when you're talking about in this Tri-County area, when you're looking at 5A and below, or especially 4A and below, there's a lot of good programs. A lot of good programs that I think are going to be in the playoffs. But when you start going to 6A and 7A, the pool shrinks dramatically. There's a few that are going to be postseason programs, but I'm just talking about competing at the highest level. It's tough.
We do need to take our final timeout. Final call for phone calls. Hey, Coach, the Kalen DeBoer Show comes up at the top of the hour from Baumhower's in Tuscaloosa.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. We're talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, temperature climbing into the low and mid-90s, dropping into the mid-70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Thursday, upper 80s and lower 90s. That's what you can expect. And then a couple of isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Atlanta Braves.
Swung on and crushed. Deep left field. Kepler going back. Here comes some late-night dynamite here at Truist Park. A walk-off home run by Marcell Ozuna.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, since we came back with that, my love-hate relationship with the Atlanta Braves continues. Yes, I was one of the ones that stuck around when it was 10-4. And actually, the comeback, the win, 11-10. And the best part of the whole night, Drew, was at one point, middle of the 8th inning. This was right after a big hit by Drake Baldwin that ended up being the game-winning hit. I hear Tom Glavine say, boy, I've seen some bad pitching here tonight. Because there was a lot of bad pitching last night over at Truist. We are not walking up to Braves tonight as we have Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer show coming up from Baumhower's in Tuscaloosa. Do you have Netflix?
Not exactly.
So we may be breaking some
Okay, so
news
he's
right
not
here.
paying for Netflix.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, my brother has it. My parents have it. They don't let you share those passwords anymore. Like I can neither confirm nor deny that I used to do that, but I don't do it anymore because I don't think they allow it.
All I know is when I change my password, I will get a text message from Scott Tyson and a few others at the station saying TVs aren't working? ? TVs aren't working? Anyway, there is a documentary on Netflix called The Biggest Loser. And evidently Jillian Michaels, she's not happy about this. I know Roger Schultz, was he a winner of this thing? I can't remember if he won it or not. But nonetheless, Jillian Michaels, one of the coaches, not happy about this.
Honestly, it's just filled with so many lies. And of course, I have the emails and the text messages to back all of this up. And, right now my team and I are trying to figure out the best way of going forward in dealing with this. Do we pursue this legally? Do I just do a data dump and give you all of the emails and all the receipts? But for the show's doctor to suggest that I never worked with him, for example, that's one of his lies. There are, Harvey, I don't know, hundreds of emails going back and forth between me and the show's doctor.
I have comments.
Yeah, please
I have
go
comments.
ahead.
Okay, this comes from a human being who is upset because she says slavery makes white people look bad in
She
American
said
history.
that?
Yes. They only pick on the white people. So take that with a grain of salt.
Wow. Okay.
So
I never got into this.
Using
the
the old maxim, you can only offend me if I respect your opinion. There we go.
I never got into this show. I never did.
Me either.
But I would like to find out what passwords Drew DeArmond has now. Because that other SEC, have you seen the SEC, the Netflix documentary every given Saturday, I think is what it's called. Any Given Saturday?
Any Given Saturday. No, I have not. I've heard about it. I've heard 7 episodes.
Well, just go over to Netflix with us. We're watching Wednesday. The new season of Wednesday.
Sources close to me tell me that someone has access to it.
Yeah.
That might be next to me.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
TV's here, not working.
Yeah, I get a random text because periodically I'll change passwords.
Yeah.
And by the way, I really got a surprise the last time. Anyway, I'm not sure I can tell that story. Let's just say don't share your passwords, all right?
From what I hear, they don't let you. I don't know.
Baumhower's in Tuscaloosa. Hey, Coach is up next. We say so long from Baumhower's in Huntsville.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From 0 down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus 2-year 25,000-mile complimentary maintenance. You can choose a 2025 Escape, F-150,